is on. Nice. And we're gonna start the podcast. Hello. Hello. I don't know where the fuck to look. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's perfectly okay. Is it looking at you or no?
Yeah.
Sick. Okay. Very professional.
Super professional.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You start off with your introduction.
Okay,
Since you are
so
the guest here.
I'm the guest here. Okay, so I'm Gabby. I am a senior with like 2 weeks left of class.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to think about that. I really don't.
Yeah,
But I gotta.
it's very true.
I'm pretty much ready to go. And so I feel like I've learned a lot here. A lot of it not in the classroom.
That makes sense.
And so I've got all this advice left to give, and I was like, where am I going to give this advice? And then Soph started at Wichita State, and I'm like, here we go.
Mm-hmm. I am Sophia, like official name. She's probably gonna call me Soph. That's fine.
So I can't physically call you anything other than Soph.
That would be very weird for you. But this is my first semester. This will be shown to my class. I'm probably not gonna put this part in there. I don't want to put this part in there because that's gonna be really awkward. But to anyone else that is just finding this, well, I mean, you already know what this topic is. We know what this topic is. It is a podcast about college depression. There's probably going to be much happier notes if we do actually make this a full-blown podcast that we do other than just for this.
Which, like, I feel would be pretty dope.
It would, that's true. But this podcast is about college depression, and it was mainly brought on because my depression was cool for a bit, and then it nosedived, and that's just sort of how depression goes sometimes.
Like, it isn't even really cool. Like, even on Tumblr, it's not even that cool.
Mm-hmm.
People try to make it cool, but like it's not gonna happen. Yeah, I had a similar experience just this past spring, which is why I have an extra semester.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to start talking about your experience, or should I talk about mine?
I'll do a little bit. So my experience with it, weirdly enough, started in goddamn elementary school.
It's just very sad.
Yeah. Like, when people are like, oh, what's the best part of school? They talk about elementary school. My best part, weirdly enough, is probably high school, or maybe even weirder, middle school. Because a lot of people hate middle school.
I went to 3 different middle schools, and I can safely conclude that while I did have some great times, it's also an absolute mess for everyone involved.
Oh yeah, no. It really was a mess, but for me, it was good for middle school because I was a mess, but I had friends. It was that, like, starting of friends, and that was nice. But in elementary school, I had a bully, and, well, more so 2, but there was a main one.
always have that sidekick.
Yep. they were family, I think. I think cousins? I don't remember.
A family that bullies together sticks together.
They might not. I don't know. I don't know. Because, the main one went to my middle school for a little bit, and the other one was not to be seen.
She just disappeared.
Yeah. I don't know. But they bullied me from 1st to 5th grade. Horrible. First, 3 years, pretty normal. It was just like, oh, you're fat. And that's it. It wasn't...
I have never gotten, I have been bullied about being fat since I was in kindergarten, which, to be fair, I was just tall and chubby then. I wasn't even that fat then.
Yeah.
But it still started.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I don't know. And then 4th to 5th grade, it's when they got more creative with shit. Suddenly their brain switched on and the mean, part of it is there. It's full blown. And, I don't know. It started to get, pretty bad. And throughout this entire time, little child brain me didn't understand that I should probably tell my parents about this, because it's been going on for 5 years. I didn't say anything, and the logic behind it is sweet. It was essentially oh, bullying makes me sad. I don't want parents to be sad. I will not tell them about bullying. I got this. I did not get this. It did not go as well as I thought. And eventually I told my mom. 4th grade teacher knew about it. Something happened to where the incident happened while the teacher saw it, sort of. And she wanted me to tell her, but then I got threatened by one of the bullies, and she essentially threatened me to just tell her that it was fake or something. I don't exactly remember, but yeah, that happened. And then 5th grade, that teacher was much better. We technically had 2 teachers, but I do not count the first teacher as the real one.
Wasn't he there for 2 weeks or something?
He was there, I think, a little bit, because I remember Mom being there for my birthday party at the school. So he was there for at least probably a month or 2, I think. And then he dipped. Still do not for certain know what happened, but it's cool. We're talking about depression here, which is probably what he had. And that's probably why he left. I know that it is not of anything of drastic or bad nature, because they probably would have told us. But we had this sub, and she was much better. She was a really good person and helped, and eventually to where I felt strong enough to tell Mom. I didn't know exactly if we introduced it, but we're sisters at the same time. Yeah.
If it wasn't clear from the mannerisms or the or how we look or really anything else,
like, so I, like, a very dark thing, which I probably will not disclose at this point. The bully asked me this, and it was very dark, and I thought I answered the question, but also, I was like, oh, that's pretty serious of something. I should probably tell Mom. And then I told her, and she was like, whoa. And they, paraphrasing, of course, she did not say whoa to her 11-year-old child. But we went to the principal, and that got all settled with her parents, and Okay, now we're turned back on. We have a different setup, not really completely, but sort of completely. And God, we've been having technical issues today, but it's fine.
We're riding the struggle bus. This podcast is about the struggle bus.
That's true.
Although, I feel like once one of us gets a car, hopefully me, we can turn it into a struggle sedan.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Right. So we're talking about my journey with that. It's not very long. I don't know. I never really amounted to how much it really has been. That's just sort of a common thing for me, I guess.
Yeah. So as far as depression goes, I think, I mean, part of the problem is, like, in middle school, it was perfectly fine to be emo, and so I could channel all of my frustration into emo music and all of that. Never actually did, like, the full get up, just because I could really only just wear regular clothes, and the most Mom would let me do was some excessive eyeliner. But even then, it wasn't that excessive. So I got into high school, and I got into this college prep program.
Mm-hmm.
And so the program was super rough.
Mm-hmm.
I had some friends, which was nice, although really what everybody else was getting in support, I wasn't getting. You know, friends just straight up copying each other's math homework, you know, having study groups, having a car, having help from parents. I just didn't really have a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you could say that part of that is my fault, and you would be right, because I didn't really ask for that help, and I also didn't really want it, because I had this idea that I was supposed to do it all on my own, which is just not real. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you get to college, you realize, like, that's not real. The people who are doing the most, trademark, are getting help from family, and they have really supportive friends, and even, like, romantic partners or life partners, you know. So I have been struggling under this idea that I had to do it by myself, and you don't and you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I realized I was dealing with depression, I think part of the problem was, and this could be a whole episode, was everybody jokes about depression in college.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone jokes about being depressed and starving and broke. So it's really hard to peel back the jokes, peel back the curtain and realize, oh wait, you weren't actually starving. I'm the one who's actually having trouble with this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so once you peel that back, you realize, like, oh, I actually need help.
Mm-hmm.
And so for a little bit, I thought that my problem was just I was taking too many credit hours. Mm-hmm. And since I had finally taken the max that I ever needed to, I was like, okay, I can scale back. I can do this. But then I realized once I didn't have the excuse or the pressure of like 18 credit hours, then I was left to myself, and I realized I'm still not where I need to be emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is when you have so much on your plate, it's really just about inertia. It's really just about forcing yourself to do everything that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But once you don't have all of that pressure, you really have to decide for yourself, okay, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do next? And so really, if I'm being honest, I was depressed about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to a counseling session, and I guess I didn't really know what I wanted from it, and the therapist didn't really know how she was supposed to help me, and so I didn't really go back.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was moving out on my own, trying to pay for all of that. I was also planning a conference and playing an orchestra all around the same month. And again, it was just inertia. It was just, I'm going to keep going as much as I need to and just do it all. So I did that.
Oh shit. It's dying.
Oh crap.
Okay. Like, this is all very good stuff, and it's very important. And my sort of ending of at least my journey right now, our journeys right now, is you're doing better.
I'm doing better. I have a job offer. I'm doing all of that. I did get more therapy. I did get diagnosed. I am taking medication regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like there's a lot of seeds here
Mm-hmm.
that we could talk so much more about.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Me, I am on the road to getting better. I am in therapy, and it's really helping. And I am also on antidepressants, and it is going very well, pretty much. I don't have horrible side effects. But for now, I guess is just sort of I don't exactly know how much time is on the camera. It just says, it's Diane. So, we will sort of end it at that, I guess.
Yeah, this is like episode 0 of the struggle bus.
Yes, the struggle bus. This is sort of for me and also for anyone else who is dealing with depression and handling it as best as they can. Please know that it is completely okay to ask for help. I almost regularly cannot ask for help and usually do not. It's mainly because I worry that the person might not want to help me, or that that's usually what it's a worry about. So please know that if you see people who look warm and inviting, most likely they are, and most likely they can help you. And just asking, sometimes people might not be in the right state to help you, but they know someone else who can. And it's just reaching out. There are many people who can and will help you. So, yeah, I think that's sort of the message that I want to end on.
Yeah, I will also say, no matter who you are, there is somebody you look up to right now who has asked for help and has gone to therapy and gotten on medication. No matter who you are, no matter who you look up to, you know someone who has asked for help. Mm-hmm. And there are so many people out there whose job, whose passion is to help you get better. So please,
do so.
Do so. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.